Women deserve a right to vote. Women have been fighting for this right since 1848. I believe that the bias against women and the reluctance of the legislature is incredibly unjust to women who want a say in today's government. The idea of women voting and it being controversial is only the start of all the problems to arise during the time of this movement. Women have agreed that they were individual beings who deserved their own political recognition. The Declaration, which is commonly referred to as the Declaration of Sentiments, written by Elizabeth Cady Stanton, was inspired by the Declaration of Independence. It declared that all men and women are created equal and vowed that women would act to reclaim the citizenship rights that men had previously denied them. Once the women's suffrage movement had been kicked up, groups to support women's suffrage have also begun to arise. An association that has made a big impact is the National American Women's Suffrage Association. It was created by the merging of two existing organizations. This association was made up of local and state groups all around the US. The organization strived to gain women's suffrage and had used many tactics to gain public awareness and favor for this movement. There was a lot of effort put into this movement, and it needs to be recognized. Even though it has been so many years, there is still no change. Endorsement from multiple high-positioned people was gained, and even so, there was no change in the fact that the legislature would not enact a suffrage amendment. After all that effort and amount of support, the government should have taken action through the legislature to solve this problem. Women who wanted to vote did not stop there. They wanted their political freedom and would do anything to achieve it. A group that was once part of the National American Women's Suffrage Association, the National Women's Party, was founded by Alice Paul. They took on a more aggressive approach to the issue to achieve their goal. They decided to protest. A mass amount of women in these protests were treated unjustly when they were just fighting for their rights. They were beaten and imprisoned for asking for the right to vote and decide who makes decisions in terms of the government. As citizens, they should also be granted that right. Many protesters were beaten and arrested. This shows how much women struggled and fought for their rights and therefore should have been granted them. Alice Paul, being the founder of this party, was also imprisoned, and she went on a hunger strike to protest her imprisonment. In spite of all these arrests, protests continued for 18 months. Publicity about the arrests and abuse in jail sparked outrage from the public, and in turn gained support from more people. Throughout the progressive era, women have become more recognized and respected, but they are still not applicable to vote. Political freedom is still seen as a man's world, and that should be changed. This is something society and the government still has not come to terms with, but every woman deserves a vote.